Alright, let's get something straight here. Relationships, that's when two people are together. Being single, that's when you're not with anyone. But now, what is a situationship? It's such a weird middle ground. The definition doesn't even have a real definition. Like if you Google it, it'll say something like, a romantic relationship between two people where the nature of a connection is not clearly defined. So basically, you're doing things in a relationship without being in a relationship. Situationships have always been a thing, but it's become more common nowadays. Usually people that are single aren't actually single. They're more so in a talking stage or going on dates with other people. And back then, asking out someone was a lot different. You had to go outside and approach someone in real life. And let's be honest, you're not one of those TikTok guys who rizz up college girls, okay? But luckily, nowadays you can find baddies on baddies swiping your phone through a dating app and shoot your shot from the comfort of your own home. And with the use of social media and dating apps, the access for finding someone has become more open and available. So now, dating becomes easy. On the surface, this seems to be a good thing. More options, more people to choose from. So you can really narrow down what you want as your partner instead of the limited choices you had without social media. But it doesn't work like that. It's like when a waiter gives you a menu at a restaurant. The menu is simple, there are options here and there, and in a few minutes you can pick out what you like. But what happens when you get handed out an essay for a menu? The menu has 100 different entree choices, 100 different flavors and toppings, and at first you came here to order some pasta, but now you just don't know. That's how situationships were compared to now, because when dating becomes easier, committing becomes harder. But that doesn't stop people from still wanting to find that one person. So you may have gotten yourself in a situationship before, and you actually come to find that it's kind of fun. You're out getting food, going to new places together, holding hands. It's a good period of time where you can enjoy getting to know someone without the pressure. Then, a few months go by. You realize, wait, we're doing all this couple stuff. Things have been going well. Why not take things a little more serious and see how things go? And the moment you decide to do that is the moment they disappear from your life. This gotta be the top 5 most confusing things in your life. You can both acknowledge that you like each other, have late night deep convos, and have a base level of physical intimacy, but when you ask that question of, what are we? You get hit with the buffer wheel. Not to mention, the idea of a situationship is a purgatory between being in a relationship, but also not being in one. And other people can feel different ways and do different things because there isn't necessarily a boundary, and someone might feel like they can do whatever they want freely, and others feel like they should be restricted to do certain things. This sort of uncertainty makes the boundary line confusing. On one hand, someone can technically go out with other people because they're still single, and the other person can't really say anything about it because you guys aren't officially dating. It gets messy. But I personally say that people shouldn't be going out with others if they're in a situationship. It's like a test period to see if this person's actually worth committing to. And if you start going out with other people, it's gonna hint that you aren't worth it if your eyes are elsewhere. But the whole thing about this phase is that they blur the line between effort and expectations. You don't really know whether you're supposed to be acting like the boyfriend or girlfriend, or just be nonchalant. Because if you go all in, doing all the boyfriend stuff, planning the dates, thoughtful gifts, you're basically handing out relationship benefits without the commitment. And there's no incentive to make it official. Also, you come off as desperate. On the other hand, if you don't put in enough effort, you're not going to secure them either. You're going to seem like you aren't taking things seriously and that you don't care that much. So, what are you supposed to do here? I'm asking you guys because I genuinely don't know. Like and subscribe if you made it this far into the video. Situationships also have this weird phenomenon where it can hurt more than an actual breakup. Because you're not sad over the person, you're sad over the idea of them. You never got to see their flaws like you would in a real relationship. So there were no fights over little things, no issues you would see until things went long term. It's just like a highlight reel. So when it ends, you're just left with the potential of what it could have been. The what if. And the what if is what gets to you because you'll never actually see it play out since the situationship never went into a relationship. But probably the biggest issue with situationships isn't the situationships itself, but the people in them. Most people in a situationship aren't fully ready to be in a relationship. You'll come to find that there's a lot of people with this attachment style where they're too avoidant to commit, but too anxious to be alone. They want a relationship, but don't want the responsibility. They want a cute dog. They don't want to clean their shit off the carpet. And a situationship is like dog sitting, where you enjoy the puppy love, but you don't have the responsibility of owning the dog. And some people just go on dates simply because they're scared of being alone. We've all seen these people who freshly just got out of a relationship, and they have this bright idea to hop onto dating apps right away, then jump to talking to someone new and convince themselves they're just having fun, but at the end of the day, they're still crying over their ex. They try to outrun their feelings by filling the empty space with someone new. And sometimes that's why I feel like being alone is what a person might actually need. Sitting with your own thoughts, processing things, and taking time to focus on yourself. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. And emotionally, you'll come out on top. Because if you can't handle your own company, why are you so desperate for someone else's? The saying is true, where you need to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. By the way, I'm just a spectator here. I've been single for a while now, and I recently upgraded to Single Pro Max, so maybe I shouldn't be saying anything, but this is what I've been noticing. To be fair, situationships can work if both people want the same thing. If you're both genuinely on the same page, feeling each other out, taking it slow, and when the right time comes, you can talk about taking things further and it will work out. A situationship should be fun, but it can't last forever. Eventually, you have to ask yourself, is this going anywhere or am I just stalling? Because if you're not careful, you'll spend months stuck into something that was never meant to last. And the longer you stay, the harder it is to walk away. Bars. So be real with yourself. If it's not leading to anything, then what's the point?